Preservation to prevent the growth of microorganisms. It minimizes chemical and physical damage to food. Preserved food involves more than one food preservation method.
The first technique is freezing. To keep the fish properly frozen and chilled with ice, coarser ice should be put on top and melted ice should be put below. When fish is exposed to a low temperature environment, it prevents the growth of microbes and bacteria that will aid in sustaining the texture of the fish, whereas the mineral and nutritive contents remain locked in the flesh of fish under this cold environment. Next is salting. Salt is an element that lowers the water content below the point where bacteria and microbes are unable to live and grow. Water passes out and salt penetrates into the fish tissues through a process called osmosis. This causes bacteria, fungi, pathogenic organisms to die due to the hypertonic nature known as halophilic environment. Since salting lowers and removes water from fish, they prevent the texture of fish to turn slimy and deteriorate, whereas this method also maintains a high content of omega-3 and good cholesterol in fishes that will be consumed.
Next, fermented fish products are very popular in Southeast Asian countries. However, the products are actually also found in other parts of the world. Fermentation of fish is an ancient technology that has already been employed by our ancestors a long time ago. The processing is traditionally used to overcome the perishable nature of fish.
Fermented fish products in Asia are generally salt fermented products. When the salt concentration is lower than 20% of the total weight, growth of pathogenic and microorganisms can be prevented. When the salt concentration is higher than 20%, the salted fish undergoes rapid spoilage, and other means of preservation is needed.
Fermented fish products usually have special consumers because of their ability to provide a certain unique characteristic, especially in terms of aroma, flavor, and texture.
Next,
Food dehydration is one of the oldest unit operations used by the food processing industry. Food dehydration is a process of reducing moisture of food to low levels for improved shelf life by adding one or more forms of energy to the food. Removing moisture from fish flesh is a process of surface evaporation and therefore requires heat. Heating the surface too fast can produce a hard crust which retards movement of moisture. Initial freshness plays an important part in determining the stability of dehydrated fish.
Smoking is more effective against bacteria on the surface. Fish exposure to smoke causes a reduction in moisture level and enriching the fish flesh. It is significant to muscle gapping, soft texture, and loss of color. It can avoid foodborne diseases and rapid degradation of characteristics of fish. Having a high content in unsaturated fatty acids, high vitamin content, mineral, and essential amino acid.
Let's move to canning process. Did you know the heat process of fish is 240 degrees Fahrenheit? Why must 240? It is to avoid the spores of Clostridium botulinum. Canned fish are an important food source. Most importantly, to preserve the fish, canned fish are rich in protein and many other essential nutrients. The last preservation is pickling. So pickling allows the meat to last longer, hence gives the fish slightly salty and acidic bite. What is the general process of pickling? Basically, there are two processes, which is using a brine, water, salt, and vinegar. So here are the nutritional value and texture of fish after canning and pickling.